Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the first expansion for G.I. Joe the Deck Building Game. That's Shadow of the Serpent. G.I. Joe the Deck Building Game was one of my kind of surprise hits of last year. It turned out to be a really enjoyable deck builder, plus the theme. I'm all in on the G.I. Joe IP. So this brings Serpentor, who's, from what I remember, more powerful than Cobra Commander, but a whole new set of storylines here. Basically, it's just gonna give you, a whole lot more of everything else, plus the command center, I believe it is. We'll find out when we dig in here, but I think they added one little component. Other than that, it's basically more of what you were hoping for. This is a much smaller box than I thought it would be. Probably mostly just cards, but here is, you can see it pretty much is dwarfed by the original box. So I'm hoping, even with everything sleeved, that everything that's in this box is going to fit and back in the main box. All right. So we've got a little advertisement here from Renegade Games, just showing off. They're really hitting on a lot of the, IPs for me lately. Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, Transformers, especially Transformers, G.I. Joe. I didn't really get into Power Rangers that much, but my boys are. Anyways, I think they're doing a really good job with these IPs. Anyways, we've got a rule book here. Let's see if we can, So here's the new command center. This is kind of what's added to the game. Command center. The Joes use their fortified command center as a place to rest, recover from their missions, and plan their next move against Cobra. During the game, you can improve your command center by purchasing tiles to unlock new and powerful abilities. There we go. That's cool. New mission setup. Probably just add in the thing. Cobra Trooper Ninjas. And that's about it. Some clarifications. So I think that's a good thing, because I thought the game was just fine the way it was. There is some luck involved because you're rolling dice. So it's, one of the few games out there that's a deck builder where there's actually dice involved. And some people are really against that. So I'm hoping you can see the, exhausted side or whatever. And then here's the side once you purchase them. I'm hoping that they've included some more cards in here that help you with the dice mitigation. Anyways, not a whole lot else to this expansion. Honestly, it could have been a smaller box except for, these things here. So, let's pull these aside and take a closer look at the cards. Let's just always check and make sure there's nothing hiding underneath here. Nope. No surprises. Okay, so here we have all of our cards. This is basically everything that's left in the expansion. These two larger decks here are, of course, the story packs. I'm not going to show these off simply because I feel like it is fun to see the new twists of a story. There's 18 cards in each one of these decks. And so that adds to a lot of the variety, because you're basically going to be, if you're not familiar with the game, you're going to be playing with these 3 golden cards as kind of the end of Act 1, end of Act 2, and end of Act 3. But before that, there's all these little side missions you're going to have to go on. And those will vary depending on, which ones you shuffle into the deck at any given time. But I briefly showed this earlier, but these are the 2 stories. Here you can see Mission 3, Rise of Serpentor, and then Mission 4, Night of the Arashikage. Basically appears to be some kind of ninja fortress. I don't really remember that storyline. I certainly remember Rise of Serpentor. That's one of the classics. So there you go, 2 more storylines, doubling the amount of storylines you can play. And again, there was enough variety in the base box, even with just 2 storylines, that I didn't get tired of playing those same 2 stories. And frankly, I just played the main one mostly because the other one was that much harder. Anyways, we have 2 new leaders. So we have Hawk here. So here's his regular side and his promoted side. And then we have Storm Shadow, who I
honestly would have told you was a bad guy. I would have said he was like Snake Eyes' nemesis, but he is a Joe in this, and my G.I. Joe knowledge may just be a little astray. But anyways, here are some more of the non-leader Joes that you can pick up and add to your deck. These guys are always fun. So we've got Repeater, Budo, Chuckles. I remember having the Chuckles action figure with the Hawaiian shirt. Psych Out, Ambush, Falcon. I think I remember Falcon. Lifeline. He was definitely a classic. I had him. The Medic. Outback. Oh yeah. Bomb Strike. I don't really remember Bomb Strike. Helix. I definitely don't remember Helix. All right, and then we have some vehicles. So this is what makes, other than having to roll dice, this is what makes the game unique in some aspects, is that anytime you go on a mission, you have to have a vehicle to do so. So you're going to be adding vehicles to your hand, and then when you, or your discard pile, and then when they come up, you're going to add them to the hangar, or in this case, maybe the command center. And then you can see this one can hold up to 11 Joes. I think that might be the most. And it's an airplane type, so if you go on a mission that you're going to get a bonus from airplanes, then you would get that bonus. And then here you may bring one additional transport on this mission, but count only its bonuses. So you could bring the bridge layer tank here and be able to do this. Joes assigned to this mission may roll against a second mission this turn using this transport again. So 2 new vehicles. Would have hoped for more leaders too, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure they have like at least 2 more expansions kind of planned at this point. Then we have these utility cards. These aren't nearly as fun. And then we've got some gear. So, Lady J's, not Lady J, that's Scarlet's crossbow, grenade, and katana. All right, and then these are the opposing forces here. These again are characters that you're probably going to recognize, like Dr. Venom, Firefly, yep, Serpentor, of course, he had to be in there. And then you have some additional Cobra Troopers. These are the ninjas. I'm not sure if you're supposed to mix these in with the other ones, or if these are only to be used in Mission 4. But there's several of these guys. They are obviously all the same. And then these are the complication cards. Oop, now we got 1 expert mode added to it. I'd never played with any of the expert modes. The game was hard enough as it was. So these are what you might flip over during a mission that you can't see. And it's going to throw things into the mix, like all of a sudden Dr. Venom coming into play, or put 1 ninja into the command center. Ooh, put 1 ninja in the command center. A player gains 1 ninja as a side mission. So, anyways, if you're interested in seeing coverage on, say, how to play the G.I. Joe deck building game, or a playthrough, feel free to check out my G.I. Joe coverage on the channel. Just search for G.I. Joe once you're on the Meeple Marathon homepage, and those will come up. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. All right, little bonus postscript of the video here for those of you who are curious as to whether this is going to fit in the included insert, which has a lot of dead space in it. I think it will be fine if you're not sleeving your cards. If you are planning on sleeving your cards, however, I think that you're going to need to come up with a different storage solution, which is what you can see here. I tend to sleeve my cards for deck builders because they get shuffled so much. So everything in here currently is from the base game. This is where I'm most concerned, is I actually went ahead and sleeved these larger cards here too, and these obviously, you know, are bigger than that spot. Now I think if I took the sleeves off of them, if I decided not to sleeve these, then they might all fit in there. See, we can see this is, you know, this is 2 missions I'm pulling out sleeved. This is 2 missions putting in there. So yes, there is plenty of room here. And if I put these cards up here just as an example, there you go. You can add in your hanger pieces then on top of these. So we've got the reserve card in there, and then the rest of this stuff had to just kind of sit on top like that. And this should fit there. Yeah, that looks like it might push up a little bit, but anyways, long story short, if you're not planning on sleeving your cards, or at least sleeving your big cards, you're probably fine with the original insert. For those of you who are sleeving everything like me, you are going to have to come up with something else. So stay tuned to see what we come up with to keep this game in check.